Welcome to part 6 of Let's Play Revenge of the Vampire by Keith Martin. At the end of the last part, I was on paragraph 133. Let's reread this as a reminder. Holding the basilisk's head as your prize, you take it to the waiting Shivala. She cackles with glee, dumps the horrible relic in a cauldron, and sets about an enchantment. You remind her that she agreed to help you kill Corolla and take her treasure, but the vile witch simply spits in your face and tells you to do your worst. If you want to attack Shivala, turn to 201. If you decide to go and deal with Corolla herself, turn to 277. If you want to retreat from the area but keep a watch on it, turn to 245. Okay, we're going to retreat from the area and keep a watch on it. 245. The old women continue their furious arguing for some time, then walk away from one another. The older and uglier of the two walks up to a large rock and lays her hands on it. The boulder simply rolls to one side, revealing a passage which leads down into the subterranean gloom. She enters, and the rock rolls back above the entry point. The younger one hobbles to Crab Peak itself and goes into a tiny cave entrance in the side of the great rock. If you want to follow the older crone, turn to 329. If you want to follow the younger one, turn to 277. Okay, we're going to follow the older one and turn to 329. Okay, here we are. You prise away the rock and make your way quietly underground. There is a faint phosphorescent glow from wall fungi here, and you don't need your lantern. The passages you enter are oddly sculpted, as if by some long-lost race of subterranean dwellers. They twist at odd angles, and the floor is slightly rippled and irregular. Keeping your eyes peeled, you come to a side door which you find to be locked and which you cannot open. In front of you is a junction, one passage leading ahead and the other branching away to your left. If you want to go straight on, turn to 377. If you prefer to bear off to the left, turn to 363. Is that it? Yes. Okay. We are going to bear off to the left and turn to 363. Here we are. You can hear the sound of muttering ahead of you, so you edge towards a cave entrance and peer round the corner. The old witch Shivala is talking to herself in her disgusting den. The place is cobwebbed and filthy, and repulsive sights are on display everywhere. Sheaves of dried bats' wings, plaited rat tails, shrunken heads, great bell jars full of cloudy liquids containing eyes, feet, and worse. This lair is everything you feared it would be. On the far side of the room is an ornate archway, and what lies behind it is obscured by a glowing blue haze of magical energy. The witch herself is frantically scrabbling through the pages of a grimoire. Must be here. She won't help me. 1,000 curses on the basilisk that turned my sister to stone. At any rate, now you know about the stone statue the stone statue over which you saw the witches arguing. You draw your sword and prepare to confront her. As you enter, a pair of red, glowing eyes look up balefully at you from just behind the cave entrance. Shivala has a guardian, a hideously deformed goblin. Unfortunately for you, the vicious little wretch carries a poisoned dagger like his mistress, and he's wiry and tougher than most goblins. You will have to fight the goblin first, then the witch. If you are struck by either, roll one die. If you roll 4 or less, you must lose 1 additional stamina point thanks to the poison. Goblin, skill 6, stamina 6, Shivala, skill 9, stamina 11. If you reduce Shivala to 2 stamina points or less without killing her outright, turn to 6. If you kill her, turn to 64. Okay, so we're fighting a goblin. So let's do that now. That's annoying. Okay, skill 6, stamina 6. I have to get some more encounter thingamybobs. I'll just get rid of all these and I'll make a load more because I need them for later, probably. Well, I do need one for Shivala, don't I? That'll do. Okay, so we're fighting the Goblin first. And he is skill 6, stamina 6. Now, if we get hit, whoops. If we get hit, that means we have to roll another die. And then if we get 4 or less, then we lose another additional stamina point because of the poison. Okay, let's do this. So skill 6, my skill is 11, isn't it, or something? And my stamina's 10. Okay, so let's do this. Where am I? Okay, let's go. Okay, 6 plus 8 is 14. I get 21. So 14 to 21. Puts them down to 4. And we are fighting them one at a time, aren't we? Just let me check. Yeah, fight the goblin first, then the witch. Okay. Says it like it's a bad thing. You'll have to. I'd rather do that because it's easier. Where'd the book go? There we go. There we are. Okay, skill 6. So 6 plus 5 is 11. I get 16. 11 to 16. Puts him down to 2 rather. I'll just put the 9 and 11 in here because so do that now. There we go. Okay, next one. 6 plus 2 is 8. I get 16. 8 to 16. That's the end of Mr. Goblin. And he didn't attack me, so it didn't hurt me rather, so I don't have to do the poison thing. Okay, now we're fighting Shivala. 9, 11. Yep, okay, let's do this. Okay, so 9 plus 6 is 14. I get 18, so 14 to 18. Puts it down to 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. I get 17, yeah. 15 to 17. You can count then for a moment. 15 to 17. Puts it down to 7. Okay, 9 plus, here we go, 18. And I get 16. So 18 to 16. I know about the thing, don't worry. Let's make a new line. Okay, we have to roll 1 die, and if this is 4 or less, then we lose another stamina point. Oh, good. That was a 6, so no loss of stamina there. Okay, 9 plus 5 is 14. I get 16, so 14 to 16. Puts it down to 5. Okay, let me just check something. Lose 1 additional stamina point. Okay, where's my dice? There we go. Okay, 9 plus 7 is 16. I'd get 23, so 16 to 23. Down to 3. 9 plus 7 is 16. I get 18, 16 to 18. One, and then here we go. 9 plus 9 is 18. I get 23. Good, I didn't jinx myself. 18 to 23. I didn't want to say it was the last one just in case I jinxed myself there. Okay, that's the end of Shivala, Mrs. Shivala or Miss Shivala, Shilava or Ms. Can't forget that, can we? Right, Ms. Sounds like a sort of insect. Anyway, oh yeah, if we reduce Shivala to 2 stamina points or less without killing her outright. Oh no, we did do that, didn't we? Oh, stupid of me. Yeah, we did do that because we didn't kill her outright, did we? I forgot about that. Yeah, so we did do that. So that makes the last one. Yeah, because we reduced her down to 1, didn't we? So that means the last one is sort of void. I forgot about that. It's really difficult to do fights and pay attention to all this stuff that's going on. I've said that before. Okay. Yeah, so we reduce Shivala to 2 stamina points or less without killing her outright. Turn to 6. Okay, so we did do that. So we're turning to 6. Yep, off we go. So Ms. Shivala is not dead yet. I can only imagine that she's a feminist, being a witch and that. Anyway, yes, I went there. Sue me. Okay. Spare me, the crone cries, sinking to her knees and clasping her hands together. I'll give you my treasure. Oh, yes, it's all in there. She snivels, pointing to the archway. I can tell you the magical words to speak in order to pass through it safely. Yes, otherwise you'll be killed by its terrible power. I will give you all the gold I have. If you are determined to kill her off, you can do so easily. Turn to 64. If you decide to parley with her, turn to 124. If you decide not to kill her, but to tie her up and gag her so that she can't be a menace to you, you can find rope here to do so. Turn to 168. Okay. We're going to kill her. So turn to 64. If you don't kill her, if you tie her up, you can get a potion of stamina or something. Which I don't want, I'd rather kill her. So 64. You have dispatched one of Count Heydrich's vile and evil minions. Gain 1 fate point. Will do. I'm also going to use some provisions because of obvious reasons. So 11, put me down to 11. That puts me up to 12 stamina. You find a pair of keys on her body, which you guess will open the locked door you found in one of the passages here. Exploring the rest of the witch's den turns up nothing of value. If you want to go and open that locked door now, turn to 239. If you want to hazard going through the archway despite the magical barrier set upon it, turn to 264. Otherwise, you return to the main passage. You can now head for the surface, turn to 145, or go to the cavern at the very end of the passage below ground if you haven't been there before. Turn to 206. Okay, we're going to open that locked door now and turn to 239. You find the witch's treasure trove. I'll say that word again. The avaricious crone must have slain many travellers on the borders of her lands, and she has hidden her ill-gotten gains here. You find trinkets, coins, and knickknacks worth a total of 20 gold pieces. Okay, I'm going to just put 20 gold pieces worth of treasure. So, treasure worth 20 gold. Not gold pieces. There we go. Next line. There are also 2 excellent sealed and preserved cheeses which you can take for food. Add 3 to your provisions. Oh, blimey. Will do. Puts me up to 14. I do like cheese. Except cottage cheese, because that's like cheese that hasn't matured enough and it looks like puke. Well, at least babies puke anyway. Anyway, however, you find no magic, which is disappointing. You guess that any magic the crone had must be hidden behind that magical barrier in her lair. If you want to return there and risk going through the archway, turn to 264. Alternatively, you can explore the cave at the very end of the passage. If you haven't done so before, turn to 206, or you can leave and head for the surface, turn to 145. Okay, we're going to return to the barrier and risk going through the archway, turn to 264. If you want to utter any magical words the crone told you, turn to 325. If you want to read through any papers or books you have for some clues, This will take time. Turn to 352 if you decide to do this. If you prefer just to step straight through the magical barrier, turn to 18. Okay, we're going to read through any papers or books you have for some clues, and this will take time. Turn to 352. Hubba hubba. There we go, I said it. It's become a sort of a catchphrase for me now, sort of reluctant catchphrase. Anyway, you look through any papers you may have, lose 1 blood point for the delay. Puts me down to 9. If you have some letters from Harquar's house, you know how many sheets of paper there are in them. Multiply that number by 8, then turn to the paragraph with the same number. Otherwise, you can only step straight into the portal, turn to 18, speak the words Shivala told you, turn to 325, or decide to leave. If you leave, you can make for either the locked door, turn to 239, the cavern at the very end of the passage, if you haven't been there before, turn to 206, or the surface, turn to 145. Okay, let's look through our notes, see if we have Harquar's notes, or whatever it is. I have 15 pages of Harquar's correspondence. Fantastic. Okay, 15. How many sheets of paper? Multiply that number by 8. So 15 eighths are 120. So 120. Yeah, 120 then, isn't it? Yep, so we're turning to 120. Let's go there now. I knew there was a good reason why I learnt my 15 times table, if I didn't know it already. Although really, I didn't really know my 15 times table. It's just going to be 10 times 15 minus 2 times 15, which is 150 minus 30. Or 5 times 15, which is 75, plus 3 times 15, which is 45. So 75 plus 45 is, what do you know, also 120. I mean, there's a billion ways to do it. Or you could do 16 times 15, which is 240, and divide that by 2, which gives you 8 times 15, which is, 120. Amazing how it all works out, isn't it? Well, not really. Anyway, the letters contain a couple of diagrams of mystical wards which Suath and Harquar had on which Suath and Harquar had experimented. One of these looks very like the pattern you can see glowing faintly in the archway. You follow the instructions in the letter for removing the barrier, and to your delight, it winks out of existence. Gain 1 luck point. Turn to 76. Oh, that's my luck up to 11. And I'll have some provisions while I'm waiting. New line. I think I've done that before, haven't I? Anyway, puts our stamina up to 16 now. Turn to 76. Off we go. Beyond the archway is a chamber so small that its walls seem to press in on you. The witch must have slept in a hammock, which you find heavily infested with lice. You pick up a locked box and flip back the gilded fastenings. Inside you find a pair of metal gauntlets which fit you well. They are magical and will add 1 to your attack strength in combats. Okay, so we have magical gauntlets. Also got the magical sword, don't I? So I got you, and when I was fighting the witch, I didn't do the +1 to the attack strength again. I'm sorry about that. At least it didn't make it easier for me. I'll try to remember. So I've got magical gauntlets. It's so easy to forget I have all this stuff. Okay, so that's another +1 to my attack strength. But I didn't need it, and the one where she did beat me, the +1 wouldn't have made any difference anyway. And the ones where I beat her, obviously I didn't need it, so it's not too bad. But sorry about that. I bet you were screaming at the screen going, no, you forgot the magical sword attack strength bonus. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, You also find 2 potion bottles. One, you realise from careful sniffing and testing, is a potion of stamina. This restores lost stamina points equal to half your initial total, round fractions up. You can drink it at any time, except during combat. Okay, so we've got a potion of stamina. Adds, no, restores up to half my initial stamina. Round fractions up. The other bottle you simply cannot identify. You'll have to find a herbalist or alchemist to identify it for you, or just take a risk and swig it sometime, but not until matters are desperate. You'll be offered the option of consuming this unknown potion later when it becomes relevant. This unknown potion has a series of scratches along the glass, 11 in all. Make a note of this number. I'll just call it Potion 11. There we go. Whoops, I put Puchin. There we go. Last of all, you find a single scroll. Unrolling it, you see it is the Witch's Pact with Heydrich, and it is written in blood. The details are too revolting for you to want to remember them, but at the very end of the pact there is a reference to a dreadful-sounding place, the Ghoul Crypts. Heydrich has gone here to resurrect ancient allies from part of a great necropolis known as the Graveyard of Vampires. With this army of undead at his call, he plans to overwhelm the old world. The witches have been offered rulership of Analand in return for their help in preserving his soul gem, the red crystal heart which makes him invulnerable. Unless it can be destroyed. You pocket your treasures and leave. Now you can make... anyway, so let me just put in information. Ghoul Crypts. Ghoul Crypts. You pocket your treasures and leave. Now you can make for the cave at the end of the passage if you have not been there before. Turn to 206. Head for the surface. Turn to 145, or unlock the door in the passage if you haven't done so already. Turn to 239. Okay, we're now going to head for the surface and turn to 145. Nearly there. Here we go. Let me just swig the rest of my tea. Ah, that's better. Right. Have you slain the second witch, Corolla? If you haven't, you must go to her cave and find her. Turn to 277. If you have overcome her, but you have not been to Count Heydrich's mansion house to the northeast, then you must go there now. Turn to 219. If you have done both of these things, then you know the name of the place you must find next. Change the letters of that name to numbers using the code A equals 1, B equals 2, and so on. Then add the numbers together and add 5 to the new total. Turn to the paragraph with the same number. If you don't know the name of that place, you cannot pursue the vampire further, and your adventure ends here. Okay, so we have not slain the second witch, Corolla, so we need to go there now and turn to 277. You approach the cave entrance, but can make out only darkness. Lighting your lantern, you edge your way into a space, and then you see a passage leading further into the rock crag opposite. So you head towards it. As you do so, there's a dull pop above you, and you look up to see some large fungi on the ceiling, which have just released a cloud of choking spores over you. Test your skill. If you are successful, you manage to get out of their way before the spores reach the level of your head. 10 to 370. If you fail, you must lose 2 stamina points through coughing and choking. If you have lung rot, you must lose 4 stamina points. 10 to 343. Okay, test our skill. Our skill is 11, and we get a 7. Good. Get rid of buzzing in case it's there. So we were not hurt. Anyway, 370. Making your way as quietly as you can along the next passage, you find a stone door flush with the end of it. You push the door open. Turn to 234. At the far end of a rocky cave with a fissure running across the middle of its floor, Corolla is standing stirring a steaming cauldron and screaming an incantation. As soon as she sees you, she raises her hands and the contents of the cauldron crackle and spark. Flares of fiery smoke leap up from it, and to your horror, you can see the claws of some kind of monster beginning to drag themselves out of the boiling fluids. If you have a longbow, you can fire arrows at the witch. Turn to 305. If you have some acid and want to throw it at her, turn to 398. Alternatively, you can leap the fissure and attack her with your sword. Turn to 31. Okay, we're going to leap the fissure and attack her with our sword. Turn to 31. As you leap the fissure, you must test your skill. If you are successful, turn to 153. If you fail, turn to 99. Okay, so test our skill again. Needs to be 11 or less. And it was. Good. Okay. Yes, up. Thank you. Blimey. Yeah, we were successful. Turn to 153. Now, the witch makes a grab for the poisoned dagger in her cloak, but it goes skittering away from her across the floor. Gain 1 luck point. Puts me up to 12 again. However, she does have a long skewering knife with which to attack you. If you do not have a magic sword, you cannot harm her, and you will die here. If you have a magic sword, fight on. If you win, gain 1 faith point. Exploring the cavern, you find a rock which can be rolled away to reveal an alcove beyond. Turn to 220. Okay, so we have a magic sword. We also have the gauntlets. So that gives us... I'm assuming we can still use the +1 attack strength with the magic sword. So we have the gauntlet. So we're going to add 2 to our attack strength. So we're now fighting Corolla, skill 10, stamina 10. It reminds me of where I used to live. There was a car dealership. I never understood why you can't buy cars in a shop. Why you have to go to a dealership and do it. Anyway, enough of that. And it was a Toyota one. And whenever we used to go to school in the morning, I always used to look at the sign that said the new Corolla over and over again. You know, the new Corolla. I mean, by the time they took the sign down, it was not only not new anymore. It should have been called the old Corolla because it was years that sign was up. The new Corolla, Toyota Corolla. Anyway, that was the most boring story I've ever relayed. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we're now fighting. I'm not sure that the Corolla was spelt the same way as the Toyota as this Corolla. I mean, anyway, Corolla. There we go. That's the name. Okay, skill 10, stamina 10. Whoops. I saw a really good film earlier. Well, I saw it again because I've seen it a few times before. Copland with Sylvester Stallone and Harvey Keitel and that. Really good film that. Anyway, it's Carola. So have I spelled it correctly? No, I haven't. It's Carola. Okay, Corolla. I'll call her I'll call her the Toyota Corolla. There you go, Toyota Corolla. Okay, in inverted commas because that's her nickname. The other ones call her Toyota for short. Anyway, let's do this. Right, I've got 2 extra attack strength point things. My skill is 11, hers is 10. Let's do this. So 10 plus 8 is 18. I get 17, 19. So 18 to 19 because of my gauntlets and magic sword. So 17 to 19. No, it was 18 to 19, wasn't it? 18 to 19. Glad I'm using the attack strength bonus in this one. Alright, next one. 10 plus 4 is 14. I get 22. So 14 to 22 because of my attack strength bonuses. So 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. I get 20. 16 to 20. Oops. Puts it down to 4. 10 plus 9 is 19. I get 18, 20. So 19 to 20. Again, thank you, attack strength bonuses. Fuel bonus, armor bonus. Remember that from Blackthorn? Love that game. Anyway, my mind works really weirdly, sorry. It's all over the place. Anyway, so 10 plus 6 is 16. I get 22. So 16 to 22. And that's the end of Ms. Corolla. I can't remember what it was now. 19 to... No, what was it? I can't remember. Can't even remember. It was something to... Oh, should we stop babbling, shouldn't I? It was, yeah, that was 22. It was 19 to 20. Let's just say 19 to 22. Whatever it was, it doesn't matter. Because I did win. Okay, that's the end of Ms. Toyota Corolla. Okay, so that's that. If you win, gain a faith point. Okay, let's do that. I've fought a lot of battles in this. Yeah, this is a long book. It's still a long way to go before we win this. Anyway, 11 to 12. That's good. Reveal an alcove beyond 10 to 220. You have entered the witch's bedchamber. Lice infested and rotting hay is spread around in what looks more like a nest than a bed, but you also find treasure. Jewelry and trinkets worth 15 gold pieces. Why am I doing that? I don't remember what page I was on. Okay, let's just relax here for a moment. Let's just relax. Relax for a moment. Right, what was I doing? Right, okay. Let's just put treasure worth 15 gold pieces. So that's my punishment for saying that feminists are like witches. Anyway, I know I was on paragraph 31, so let's go back there. 153. Sorry about this, I scrolled the wrong thing. Because I'm stupid. That's why you're kids, because you're stupid. Okay, 220. That's where it was. Okay, sorry about that. Worth 15 gold pieces, and you find a black wooden casket inscribed with runes and symbols and clasped with fastenings of gold. Half afraid, you open it. Inside, nestling in a bed of fine red silk, is a heart-shaped gem, within which a baleful fire seems to burn and pulse like the rhythm of a heartbeat. The crystal is very intricate. It has 90 facets. Make a note of this. If you want to destroy this wretched thing, you soon find out that nothing seems to harm it. Trying to smash it is useless. You will have to find out how to destroy it somehow. But for now, you know that this thing is associated with the vampire you seek. Gain 5 blood points. Puts me up to 14. You also know that you must leave swiftly. If you want to make for the mansion house, not having been there before, 10 to 198. If there is any other If there is any other place you would like to visit, you know the name of that place. Change the letters of its name into numbers using the code A equals 1, B equals 2, and so on. Add together the numbers corresponding to the letters to arrive at a total. Add 5 to that new number and turn to the paragraph with the same number. If you do not know the name of this place and you have already been to the mansion, then you are lost. You will not be able to find Heydrich before his terrible plan comes to fruition. Your adventure ends in failure. Okay. We haven't been to the mansion house, so we are going to the mansion house. So let's turn to 198. Okay. More wearying days of travel lie ahead of you. You can cadge food. Okay, is that supposed to say catch, or is there a weird word called cadge? I'll be right back. And I'm back. Yes, there is such a word as cadge. I just never heard it before. And it means to beg or obtain by begging. So that's good. Okay, more wearying days of travel lie ahead of you. You can cadge food along the way, but you must supplement the hospitality of local people with your own food. You must eat 4 meals, but you can also buy food to replenish your backpack. 1 gold piece buys enough for 2 meals here. Okay, so we have to eat 4 foods. That takes me down to 10. Okay. Okay, let's use some gold pieces to okay, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gold. I'll just say, that's okay, I spelled treasure wrong. That's the problem, isn't it? Just say used, and let's just say used on this one. Then I'll just put it in my gold supply. There we go. So that's 15 and 20. So we can put 15 and 20 in there. So that's 15. That puts me up to 20, and then that puts me up to 40. Okay, let's replace that 4 food and put me down to 36. No, it only puts me down to 38 because, yeah, 1 gold piece buys 2. So it puts me down to 38, and then that puts my food back up to new line, which is, why does it say 13? Should be 0, shouldn't it? Yeah, I needed to use 4, didn't I? Yeah, so let's put that now up to 14 again. Good. Brilliant. Finally, you arrive at the outskirts of the village of Fendringham. Mortis Mansion is only an hour's walk from here, but it is now late afternoon. If you want to stay at a tavern overnight, this will cost you 1 gold piece. If you have money and are prepared to pay, turn to 67. If you want to press on towards the mansion, turn to 49. Okay, we will press on towards the mansion and turn to 49. As you approach, no, that's the end of the video. Okay, so, okay, so we're now at the mansion. Anyway, so we're now about roughly halfway through the book, believe it or not. Can you believe this is a long book? You know, if you want to buy this for like over 100 quid or whatever, you know, you really do get your money's worth with this. This is a long book. Anyway, so thanks for watching. In the next part, we will be doing paragraph 49 and carrying on. Next paragraph is 49. Well, yeah, halfway, just over halfway of the book, I think. I hope just over halfway, but it looks to be about halfway from my notes. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and goodbye.